systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We're back Friday the 13th. My guy Ham. No Jason Mass for him. No Freddy Krueger. No Halloween music. Nothing going on. We're looking like this Friday the 13th. We're hoping for some shippers. No nightmares out there in the DFS streets. We don't want none of that crap. Fun little slate on hand here. I shouldn't say little slate. We got 12 games on the docket. Pretty interesting one. No Coors Field, no crazy wind games, no crazy weather games, no real weather issues to worry about. It's kind of matchups, and that's what we have to play off of here for the most part. We'll do our best to dive in and break it all down for everyone here. If you guys are new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Welcome in Robert Davis, Keith Faith, Warren Tyler, king of all trades, everyone else trickling in. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Ham, happy Friday, brother. What's going on, man?
Happy Friday. Made it through another work week. Looking to break this one down. 12 game slate. Yeah, it should be good. It's great time over here at the Nation. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let's break it all down.
Yeah, let's break it all down. And if you guys didn't get a chance to catch our guy DGen 75 James celebration stream that Hoop and Tambo and all the special guests. I know Shaloub was on there. I know a lot of the other members were on there sharing memories. That is clipped out and posted on his old YouTube channel as well as this YouTube channel if you want to check out that tribute video. Absolutely amazing job to the editor and team and Hoop and Tambo for putting that on. They were on air for about 2 hours, showing legacy that James deserved. Obviously, he's never going to be forgotten, right, in this industry there. So rest in peace to James, the big guy in the sky, looking over us for this U.S. Open weekend. That's going on right now. We got you covered all weekend long with picks, plays, projections, showdown content. Our guy Luke will be on this channel breaking down the showdowns. If you, your guys are going to miss the cut, jump in the showdown streets. There's huge prize pools for the major there. Obviously, use that ShipItNation.com. Join now and get all the content for that. Ham, baseball show here, though. Let's bring it up. Let's bring the dry run up on the screen and talk through it overall. Kind of what stands out is Crochet, Yamamoto, Elder in terms of the pitching. And then in terms of team stacks, it's going to be Baltimore, Los Angeles, and Atlanta is going to be the talking point of the slate overall in terms of ownership. We'll do our best to break it down there, but what's your kind of broad slate overview before we jump in and we go to the pitcher position like we always do? Any broad slate overviews before we dive in?
Yeah, I would say pitching is kind of middle of the road. You got a couple nice arms at the top, but after you get out of the top, if you're just looking at the dry run, you got your boy Waka Flocka Flame in there, Paddock, Tom Flash Gordon in there, Nick Martinez, just some names that you normally wouldn't play. For me, Bryce Elder seems almost too cheap at 7,800. I mean, he's going to be a great play tonight coming off a 12K performance. But I would say the pitcher's kind of middle of the road, so you're going to want to nail those. And then the stacks, I think there's a lot of stacks to choose from tonight, a lot of good matchups because we don't have a lot of good pitching. So we'll break it all down and try to find some winners.
Yeah, we'll break it all down. You allude to Elder. I mean, 5.5K prop there facing the Rockies here in Atlanta with a huge run total behind him and juice on the over of that K prop 5.5, which is one of the better ones on the slate. Talk about Crochet, right? Crochet has a 7.5K prop against the Yankees there in Fenway in solid pitching weather, and he's got juice on the over on 7.5 there. So those are the two talking points for sure when we get pitching. Let's go down and break it down. We'll go 8K and above. So leave Elder out of this conversation. Obviously, he's right there at 7,800. Actually, let's go ahead and include him. Let's go Elder and above. 7,800 Elder down there at the bottom. One of the highest projected starting pitchers on the slate. I think he's fourth overall in terms of projections. He's 7,800 compared to Crochet at the top at 10.8. You got Gavin Williams in there at 8K, Luis Castillo at home in that pitcher's ballpark out there in Seattle at 8,500. You got Clay Holmes at 9K. My guy Freddie Peralta following up the rookie phenom debut, throwing just straight gas. Cardinals had nothing for Jackson Mizalowski, I think is how you pronounce his name. I mean, I butcher all name pronunciations there, so my apologies there, but that was fun to watch him yesterday. I know he left the game injured there, so he's Freddie, right? The clear-cut ace for the Brewers going on the hill. 9,500, pretty expensive price point there, but the Cardinals seem to be scuffling a little bit at the plate. And then you got Yamamoto and Logan Webb right there as pivots off of Crochet. All Cy Young candidate arms there at the top are Logan Webb, Yamamoto, and Crochet. What are you going to do with those three Cy Young candidates at the top? And then what are you doing with Elder and the lower tier at the bottom? Break it down.
Yeah, I mean, let's just start with Elder to get him out of the way. I mean, I don't see how you fade him in single entry, third entry. I think he quite possibly could be on all three. I mean, definitely two, in my opinion. It's just the matchup against the Rockies. It's the price. Coming off a 12K performance, 5.5. If that's his K prop, when we get off this show, I'm going to rush to my FanDuel app and freaking just bet the house on that. I mean, Bryce Elder will strike out 6 of these Rockies. I can almost guarantee that. So Bryce Elder, great play tonight. Crochet and Logan Webb, I love both of those pitchers. What I would say with that is they both got, tough-ish matchup, right? The Yankees are pretty good. The Dodgers, they're pretty good too. This just in. But both of those pitchers, in great pitchers. Crochet will come in higher owned. I think Logan Webb goes a little bit more overlooked, Nate, just because the fact he's on the road. He's taking on the Dodgers, but don't sleep on Logan Webb, even at 10-1. And the kind of sandwich in between them is Yamamoto. I don't fear this Giants team. At 10-6, I would take him slightly over Crochet. Interested to hear your take on that, and that's strictly due to matchup. But give me some Yamamoto. Give me some Crochet as well. And then I think Logan Webb as a pivot off both of those in single entry or 3 max is a great play. Freddie Peralta, who had a decent night the other night. I think it was last Sunday or whatever. It might have been Monday, but he came in kind of last minute, if you will. We didn't know who was going to start. He ended up starting, pitched well, just didn't get the strikeouts. Don't hate Freddie Peralta against this Cardinals team. This Cardinals team's not one that's scary to me. And then I see a lot of people talking about Luis Castillo. I think I'm out on Luis Castillo, Nades. Reason being is he just doesn't have the same K stuff this year that he's had in the past. I know the Guardians aren't the best team in the world, but I'm gonna be lower on Castillo. I wouldn't have him in single entry 3 max myself. I would just go straight down to Elder. I think if you wanted to play Gavin Williams, I think he's got some K upside, and I'll stop at Elder. Won't go below there, but interested to hear your takes on these guys.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. I'll hit on Castillo first just because I have it up. I have zero interest in Castillo, and I'll give you the reasons why. He's really struggled against lefties. He's been okay. He's been more of himself against righties. The Cleveland Guardians are about to trot out 7 lefties to target Castillo's 14% K rate, a fly ball rate approaching 30%. In a good park for home runs, I will say that. And they got a lot of guys like J-Ram, Santana, Manzardo, Schienemann, and Bo Naylor all have a lot of power on the current season against right-handed pitching. So that's the reason I'm out on Castillo and the price up there at $8,500. I'd rather find $500 and play a guy like Clay Holmes, save a little bit of money, and just go down and play Gavin Williams or Bryce Elder. Gavin Williams being on the other side of that matchup of Castillo. That's the reason I'm out on Castillo. I just don't think he has the same upside of years past. He's been struggling this season since he's returned back off of the IL against left-handed hitters. So that's the reason I'm out on him. I like what you said at the top. Crochet, for me, is my SP1. I mean, this Yankees team does have a lot of strikeouts in it against left-handed pitching. Crochet at home, it's temperatures in the 60s, wind kind of blowing across the field. No real wind to worry about there. Going to be fairly cold here tonight on a Friday night. And the Yankees, not too often do you see this Yankees lineup implied to score only 4 runs. And Crochet, like I said, 7.5K prop. Huge juice on the over as well. I think it's minus 130 or minus 150 on the over of 7.5. That's speaking volumes there. So I love Crochet here. He's been elite. If he can navigate past Aaron Judge, if Aaron Judge is back in that lineup and Goldschmidt, those are two lefty mashers. I mean, even Judge has a 27% K rate on the year against left-handed pitching. Grisham has a lot of Ks. Volpe strikes out a lot. Jazz, almost a 40% K rate to left-handed pitching. Dominguez, 28% K rate. So there's really only 3 low strikeout bats in this lineup against left-handed pitching. That's Goldschmidt, Bellinger, and LeMahieu. If he can navigate those guys and just avoid a home run or two, I think he's definitely fine. Even if he does give up a home run to Judge or Goldschmidt, strikeouts wash that away, and that's what I want with a starting pitcher. Is if they have a little bit of volatility facing a tough lineup, I want them to be able to get Ks, and that's what Crochet can do. So Crochet is my SP1 on the slate at 10-8. Yamamoto is my second favorite guy there. 10-6, good matchup overall in at home here against the Giants, who do have some strikeouts in that lineup. There's some low strikeout bats in there, like Jung Ho Lee, who just doesn't K, but Adames, Ramos, both of those guys bring strikeouts. Casey Schmidt, if he's in there, brings strikeout. Tyler Fitzgerald, Dom Smith. There is strikeouts there. I think the Dodgers do win this game as well. A little boost there. And Yamamoto's been pretty damn good at home, 30% K rate at home on the season. So I like those two guys a lot. I'm out on Logan Webb, not just because of the matchup of the Dodgers, but Logan Webb, hell of a season, right? One of the Cy Young candidates this year. He's been pitching incredible. The Giants bullpen is number 1 in baseball as well. So when I look at that, there's a little bit of an issue. If Logan Webb does start to struggle, they're much more willing just to pull him, go to that bullpen and rely on that really good bullpen against a team like the Dodgers, right, where they can play splits, they can play platoons, and they can come in and attack a high-powered offense with a fresh arm there. And Logan Webb just has not pitched great in his career against this Dodgers team in a pretty large sample size, 217 plate appearances. He has a 15% K rate, a 10% walk rate, slugging average for the Dodgers of a 526, weighted OBA, right, of a 401. So he just has not pitched good in a very large sample size. And it is the second best home run park in all of baseball is Dodger Stadium, using 2025 StatCast numbers according to Baseball Savant there. So and it's overall one of the better hitting environments on the slate. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s, some slight wind blowing out there as well. So I get it. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's got a lot of strikeout upside throughout the course of the season. It's just not in this matchup where 8 of the 9 hitters for the Dodgers all have a 30% or higher fly ball rate. So they can definitely counteract his ground ball rate there. I don't fault anyone for clicking Logan Webb. The projections kind of speak volumes, right? He's projected for 14 points. The other guys around him are 5 to 6 points higher than him. I just don't want to take that chance on a single entry 3 max type night for myself. So that's the reason there. Freddie Peralta's fine. I think he's good. I like playing Freddie at home. He has also struggled against this Cardinals team. The Cardinals have seen him a lot, obviously being in the same division there. I still do think he has upside, 9,500, has strikeout upside there. Don't mind him. So for me, it's really Elder. I'm with you. Elder's very hard to fade. I'm potentially going to just lock Elder in and just take my chances, right? And let other people get cute. 7,800 is just way too cheap. 5.5K prop, juice on the over, facing the Rockies at home. All things point to Bryce Elder. I mean, ownership would be the only concern, but even if you look at Saber, when I did the dry run, Saber still wants all the Elder it can get along with Crochet there. So maybe that's the only thing you just do is maybe you go to like a Freddie or a Yamamoto who's going to be slightly lower owned than Crochet. But I just don't think you have to worry about it too much. So for me, it's Elder, Crochet, Yamamoto, Freddie are kind of the main guys I'm looking at, with Gavin Williams kind of being the guy, the pivot off of Elder at the lower tier. The only issue I do have with Gavin Williams is his command. I mean, this dude can walk a lot of dudes. He struggles versus lefties, and Seattle has a lot of really good power lefties, right? That hit right-handed pitching very well there. So that is the slight concern with Gavin Williams. But again, he's 8K and has a ton of strikeout upside. He has a good strikeout arm in general, gets a lot of swing and misses there. So there is upside, even if he does give up a home run or two to guys like Cat Raleigh, right? Rowdy Tellez, Polanco, etc. there. So long way away saying I kind of have interest in 5 of these guys in the top tier. Let's jump down below Elder and go 7,500 and below. I want to throw up a couple names for you. Number one, Michael Wacha right there below Elder, $300 cheaper. He's going to pick up some ownership, gets a decent matchup there against the A's in Kauffman Stadium, which has been the worst park in baseball for home runs on the season. And then some other guys, Taj Bradley, who's been pitching great as of late. And then you got some other guys down at the bottom that I have some interest in. Colton Gordon being one of those at 6,600. Any interest for you in the value tier? I know you said the top tier, right? You said was pretty weak overall. Any of these value guys and just punting and being able to spend up for bats, right? Teams like the Dodgers, the D-backs, the Braves, right? The expensive bats you want to pay for.
Yeah, real quick, like how much Elder is too much Elder if you were doing like 20 teams?
Yeah, I mean, so if I filter this right to, let's just go flagship MME, right? You're going to see Elder. This has him at 22%. I think that's a little light. I think he's probably going to come in 30, 35%. I mean, I'd probably be double the field at least on Elder personally. That's a stand I'm taking. I think he's the best play on the slate at the price, points per dollar wise. I'd be 60, 70%. I think is definitely fine for Elder personally is what I would be comfortable with and maybe even more.
Yeah. I love Elder, man. Definitely no Wacha. I think that's like the Nade special right there. That's the worst play on the slate, I think. Playing Michael Wacha. Talking about worst plays on the slate, I just saw one. Well, I see two. Adrian Hauser, Nades. Any love there going up against Texas? He's been balling this year. Former Brewer great, Adrian Hauser. And then what about my boy Chuck Morton, who's been terrible, but those Angels strike out in droves. I don't hate the Gordon call there, lefty against the Twins. I think his ceiling's kind of maxed out though, but talk to me off of Adrian Hauser and or Chuck Morton.
Yeah, I'll let you play Charlie Morton. You can have Charlie Morton. I'm not playing the dude that has an 18% K rate against right-handed hitters, allows fly balls and power in probably the best hitting environment on the slate. So you can play Morton. I get the reasoning. I would just rather play Gordon down there for $300 more. I just like Colton Gordon a lot more. Lefty against the Twins. Better matchup, I think overall. So yeah, I get the reasoning for Morton. He just doesn't have the strikeout stuff against righties. He has good strikeout stuff, at least over the last month to left-handed hitters. And he's only going to see one of those in Shanuel in that lineup there.
What about Adrian Hauser?
I mean, why are we playing a White Sox pitcher on a slate like this against a team that just scored 33 runs over the weekend in Minnesota? I'm not a believer in Adrian Hauser. I've seen this dude a lot, right? When he was with the Brewers. I'm not going to go there. He struggles with lefties, and Texas is going to throw. I mean, they got Seager in there. Josh Smith will be in there. Carter, Jonah Heim. And then, I mean, even the righties hit the ball in the air to counteract his ground ball rate to righties. I'm not a buyer. I'm not a believer in Adrian Hauser. You look at last season, he was a 15% K rate. He could have made a change, right, in the offseason. I just don't believe. I think he's been pitching over his head, and this is not a slate where I'm going to jump on board at 7,300. I would just rather punt down to the bottom with a guy like Colton Gordon personally than deal with Adrian Hauser. I'd rather play Chris Paddock against the Astros than play Adrian Hauser personally myself. So I'm out on both of those guys there. Any additional takes on the pitchers down below? I know the chat wants to talk about Clay Holmes. I brought up Paddock. I have some interest in Chris Paddock down here. I definitely prefer him over a guy like Adrian Hauser. I'm not playing Nick Martinez. I'm not playing Yarbrough. I'm not playing Taj Bradley in this matchup. Wacha is like the safe play that just doesn't feel very safe. I mean, this dude just doesn't have strikeout upside. I mean, I don't get the reasoning for Michael Wacha, I guess. I mean, I don't love it personally. Just looking, he's a 20% K rate pitcher on the season here. The A's do strike out a lot, right? The back half of the lineup, Denzel Clark strikes out a lot. Nick Kurtz has been striking out a lot. Winans has striking out a lot. Max Muncy. Michael Wacha, I don't see it. You're kind of hoping Michael Wacha goes out there and throws 6 innings, picks up 3 strikeouts, and doesn't give up any earned runs is kind of what you're doing. And 7,500, I'd just rather find $300 and play Bryce Elder. I just don't think there's a reason to play Wacha. So that's kind of my reason there. My favorite guy down here is going to be Colton Gordon. And then, Chris Paddock probably there. Realistically, I just don't want to veer below Bryce Elder. I think Elder, Peralta, I think Holmes is even fine at the top range. Yamamoto, Crochet, that's kind of where I want to live. What's kind of your final pitcher take here?
My pitcher take is to lock in Bryce Elder. And then if I'm playing the big boy expensive bats, I'm going Adrian Hauser. So I'll have some teams with that. That's the nuts. Then if I wanted to get an expensive pitcher, for me in tournaments, I'm going Yamamoto. I think he's the best pitcher up top. So it's Elder and Hauser for me, and Elder and Yamamoto. I wouldn't play Michael Wacha with your money, Nades. I think that's horrible. Yeah, that's it. Small player pool for me tonight.
All right. Well, hey, let's do a little friendly bet here. I'll take Wacha straight up over Hauser.
All right, deal.
What do you say? Little lunch bet? Little lunch bet? I got Wacha straight up over Hauser.
Where do you eat lunch though, man? I eat Jersey Mike's. It's like $12.
No. I get the giant freaking sub at Jersey Mike's with all the extra fixings on it. My sub at Jersey Mike's is like $25. So there you go. Reaching that old checkbook. I know you got a deep pocket. Okay. All
right, we got a bet. We got a Jersey Mike's giant sub bet.
All right. Yeah.
Warren Tyler says no.
Adrian Hauser is the worst player in the slate. So
no chance.
Yeah, you can have Adrian Hauser. I'm not chasing that idiot. You have fun with that. I think we broke pitching down as best as we could. It's pretty weak overall. Realistically, you can narrow your pitching pool down to 4 guys: Crochet, Yamamoto, Bryce Elder, and then pick your poison between one of the other guys. Realistically, those are the 3 best options on the slate. Everybody sees that. And you really don't have to get cute to be honest. We gave some takes on some other guys there, but those are the 3 clear-cut arms for me: Crochet, Yamamoto, Bryce Elder being my favorite arm on the entire slate. He's way too cheap in this matchup. I don't care about ownership with him. There's ways to get different there. Let's jump over.
This is a true statement. Marquez is the worst play on the slate. That is a true statement.
That is true, but come on, Adrian Hauser in 2025. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, people are going to chase his game logs. This dude had a 15% K rate last season. Like, I don't get it. But let's jump in, talk hitting, and we got one of the best game environments, one of the most owned game environments on the slate, especially on the Orioles side. But the Angels are definitely the value stack of the night. Look at these price points. You got Christian Moore, who I don't think is in the DK pool, making his MLB Major League debut at a terrible second base position. Someone in the chat, if you can check, I haven't looked to see him. I know we don't have a salary in here, so I don't know if DraftKings did add him, but he's hitting 9th. The Angels super cheap outside of Zach Neto, who's been a straight stud all season. Mike Trout at 5K. Still too cheap for Mike Trout there, who's been smashing against right-handed pitching. One of the best hitters in baseball. Full 9 at bats for the Angels. A terrible Orioles bullpen behind. Charlie Morton, who's awful as well. I know you talked about Charlie Morton a little bit. I don't know if you have to change your contacts, clean your eyeballs, or something out there. But 2 terrible bullpens, really good hitting environment, really good hitting park overall. Should be fireworks here. Are you going in with the crowds on this one?
Where did Christian Moore go to college? Anybody know out there? I'm not sure. Oh, he went to the national champion Tennessee Vols, Nades. Don't forget it. Christian Moore making his MLB debut. Second base, you gotta love it. Chuck Morton, yeah. These the Orioles, they're going to be super popular. I don't know if that 6 run total is accurate, but this guy they're facing, I can't even pronounce his last name, but yeah, give me this Orioles. I like them as a stack. I was messing around in Sabre earlier today, and if you do the little run the sim thingy, the Angels are popping too. So my Chuck Morton takes not looking too good according to SaberSim. So yeah, I think this game, there's fireworks in this game. But I do like the Orioles stack better than the Angels stack. You just talked about the pricing of this Angel stack makes them super appealing. And Joe Adell's been smashing. What do you say? Like peak Barry Bonds, Joe Adell's been smashing.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, it is a little bit frightening, right, to see the O's as the clear-cut chalk on the slate with how bad they've been all season. But Kachanowicz, or however you pronounce his name, has just been terrible. I mean, the dude's got a 13% K rate. He walks. I mean, I will say he is a ground ball pitcher, and things can go south, right, with a ground ball guy. However, the O's do have guys that can hit the ball in the air, right? Holiday will hit the ball in the air. Adley, Westberg, Cowser, Mullins, Laureano. I mean, it could go south. It's tough to believe. And then you got the third worst bullpen in terms of ERA and WHIP, and they've allowed the most home runs in baseball out of the bullpen. Did the Angels? So all things point to Baltimore just being a smash here. It's not going to be sneaky. They're going to be the highest owned team on the slate. That is the only concern I do have. It is, like I said, one of the better hitting parks in all of baseball. It is the best home run park in all of baseball throughout the factor this year. Looking at Baseball Savant here and StatCast metrics. So everything lines up for this game to go crazy. I just played this game long enough that, the Orioles just haven't been great all season. This is a spot they should smash. They're all great plays. I prefer the lefties if I'm picking a side. I really like Jackson Holiday a ton, Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn. That top of the order is really good. And then you can wrap it around. If Seti Mullins is hitting eighth, he should be low owned 4,200, hitting it at the back half. Anytime you got a chalky team, play the back half of the lineup. They're going to be a fraction of the ownership is the top 5, top 6 hitters. So that's one way to get different there. On the Angels side, I love the righties. Martin does have a lot of strikeout ability. He's reverse splitsy. You want righties against him. Angels see that as well. Threw out 7 righties against him. I think they're all great. I like both sides of this game. 2 of my favorite stacks on the slate. It's not going to be contrarian by any means, but there's some contrarian takes that I do have coming up later in the show. Next game on the slate, Reds and the Tigers. This is one I don't have much interest in. Going to be more of a bullpen game from the Tigers. They have a pretty good bullpen in general. I don't like playing the Reds offense outside of their Great American Small Park. Nick Martinez has been up and down, coming off a really good start. His last one, Tigers offense does hit right-handed pitching pretty good. Kerry Bonds, Riley Green, 2 good options there. Colt Keith, Wencio Perez. I like some of the lefties a little bit against Martinez. I think the Tigers mini stacks are decent. I'm not going to 5-man stack this team. They're going to be super low owned. I think they make a good secondary stack, especially at these price points. What do you think?
Yeah, Cater Montero is terrible, but it's a opener game, and you and I both hate going against openers. Tigers bullpen's pretty good, and yeah, Kerry Bonds and Riley Green, one of those two are going to hit a home run, and maybe both. I can never get those guys right, Nate. So I'm not going to tell you which one's going to hit a homer because I don't know, but I can almost guarantee that one of them is going to hit a homer on the slate. I'm with you on that. It's minis for me. I don't think I would stack Torkelson in there for that, 2, 3, 4, but maybe. But for me, it's Kerry Carpenter, it's Riley Green, and I'm moving on.
Yeah, I mean, Martinez is kind of equally the same in terms of hard hits and power to both sides of the plate. 150 ISO between this year and last year to righties, 145 to lefties. Hard hit percentage, he's got more hard hits coming from the right side. And he's a fly ball guy, and Torkelson's the second best fly ball hitter behind Wencio Perez on this team. So I like Perez, Torkelson, Colt Keith, Carpenter, Riley Green are kind of the guys I look like. I'm probably not going to 5-stack them. I just don't think you need to. But I do like mini stacks quite a bit. They're pretty cheap too. I mean, 4,300, most expensive bat in this lineup. That definitely interests me a decent amount on a slate where overall offense is pretty weak. Next game on the slate, Yarbrough on the hill for the Yanks, Crochet on the hill for the Red Sox. I mean, you can get leverage. It's not a spot that I want to pick on. Garrett Crochet, Yankees. This is probably going to be the lowest you see the Yankees owned all season, at least one of the times. Goldschmidt, Judge, fine. 2 lefty mashers there, but I just don't. I mean, there's much worse pitchers on this slate, like a Charlie Morton, like a German Marquez to pick on than a Cy Young candidate in Garrett Crochet. What are you doing here in this game in Fenway?
Yeah, I love playing this Red Sox team in Fenway Park. No Duran, I don't like. I mean, I don't even mind the lefty-lefty matchup, but he's not in the lineup anyway. So Ref Snyder is a lefty masher. He's in a great spot batting leadoff. He would be where I start. And then on the other side, it's tough, man. Crochet is obviously going to mow these guys down, but going back to hitting home runs, I mean, Aaron Judge looks really good. Goldie batting leadoff looks really good, and then Anthony Volpe batting 5th. I like him a lot tonight too. So you can't. I don't think you can stack this Yankees team, but if you wanted to go home run hunting, I think you certainly could. I mean, Judge is probably too expensive, but why couldn't Judge hit 2 bombs right in this game? Got that short portion left, the monster. So it's Ref Snyder for me. Minis on the Red Sox side, starting with Ref Snyder. And then I don't hate probably just one Yankee, Nades. Interested to hear your take, even if you're going to one.
Yeah, I'll start on the Red Sox side because that's the side I have the most interest in. The only issue I do have is the Yankees do have a really good bullpen overall behind Yarbrough, but Yarbrough, you want righties against him. I really like the wraparound 8-1-2-3-4. I think is really good with Rafaela. And then you go up to the top, you go to Ref Schneider, you go to Narvaez, Roman Gonzalez. Those are kind of the main guys I want. Devers is fine, lefty. I mean, he's one of the best hitters in baseball. But I really like Ref Schneider, Narvaez, Gonzalez, and Rafaela. I think all of those guys have a ton of power against lefties. Yarbrough, between this year and last year, 17% K rate to righties, allows a 167 ISO with 30+% fly ball rate there. All those guys can hit the ball in the air. Definitely Gonzalez, Ref Schneider, and Rafaela are the main 3 fly ball hitters there. So a little 8-1-3 mini stack, 3-man stack, I think is pretty interesting. Nobody's going to have it. That's one way to get different. If you're playing a team like the O's, like the Angels, like the Braves that we're going to talk about, that's one way to get different right there. And it doesn't break the bank, right? 3,700, 3,900, 4,300. Ref Schneider likely going to get pinch hit for as soon as a righty comes in, but it doesn't matter when he leads off the game with a home run against Yarbrough here. And then on the Yankee side, sure, you can always play Judge, but I mean, 6,600, I'd rather play the Dodgers personally myself. I get the reasoning. It's just much better hitting environment overall on tonight's slate in Dodger Stadium than it is in Fenway here tonight. So, and I think Crochet is a little bit better than Logan Webb in general. So I get the reasoning for the Yankees. I'm not going to do it, but sure. I mean, playing the best hitter in baseball right now, Aaron Judge, absolutely. You can definitely do that. Goldschmidt never really strikes out, puts the ball in play, 4,600, fine. It's not the worst plays, but it's not for me. Next game on the slate, Rays and the Mets. Clay Holmes on the mound. Taj Bradley, who's been pretty good as of late for sure. I know he's had his scuffles, but he started the year pitching in that minor league park where everywhere else across the country was cold, and it was 90 degrees with double-digit wind. It felt like every single game blowing out for him. He's kind of honed it back in as of late here. Mets do crush right-handed pitching. They're one of the better offenses in all of baseball. What are you doing here? Pretty healthy implied run total for the Mets against Taj Bradley. Any Mets interest for you? Any Rays interest for you against Clay Holmes?
Yeah, you got Jeff McNeil, Jeff Bonds batting 5th tonight for the Mets. Let's start on the Mets because I do have some interest in the Metropolitans. Jeff McNeil, I think, is a great play, really good play. Peter Alonso, really good play. Juan Soto is a decent play. But yeah, Alonso, McNeil, love that little combo pack right there. They just refuse to strike out against right-handed pitching at home that you could see there. They're going to put the ball in play for sure. And then only interest I have on the flip side is my boy Junior Caminero, 4,400. Love Junior Caminero in this game. But yeah, give me some Alonso, give me some McNeil, give me some Soto. So yeah, I like the Mets tonight. I think it's a great spot.
It'd be lefties only for me for the Mets. Taj Bradley, over the long span is much worse in terms of, or he allows a lot more power and fly balls to lefties than he does to righties. He still has a good strikeout rate, right? 27% to lefties using last season, 25% to righties. That drops a little bit when you throw in this season, so he hasn't been quite the same. If you look at last 30 days, he's been really good, but where he has been getting hit by a ton of power is to lefties. So I would look at Mauricio is a fly ball guy. Jeff McNeil, the little 5-8 stack there, and then Eden Lindor. I think you got a nice little 5-8-1-2 or 5-8-1 if you want to pick two of those guys. Little Mauricio Lindor, I think, is interesting at 8-1. That's really my only interest. I don't like stack. I'm not going to stack this team. Ray's bullpen is decent. Bradley's been pretty solid. It's decent place to pitch here tonight too. Citi Field, wind's kind of blowing across the field. It is temperatures in the mid 70s there, but it's one of the better parks for pitching on the slate. So don't love it for sure. Next game on the slate though is definitely a good one. The Braves at home here against German Marquez, who somehow is still making major league starts in 2025. He's cheeks. The bullpen behind him is cheeks. The Braves have definitely gotten rejuvenated when you bring in your guy by the name of Ronald Acuna back from the IL. It's good to see him back. He's continuing to just leave off right or pick up right where he left off right before his gruesome injury. I mean, it's hard to say anything bad about these Braves. Historically, you do want more lefties against Marquez, but I mean, the dude just sucks to both sides. It doesn't matter. The bullpen's terrible behind him. The Braves, one of the highest implied run totals, them and the O's are the clear-cut two best spots, quote-unquote, on the slate. What are you doing here with the Braves and the Rockies in Truist Park?
On the Rockies side, I'm going to the Rockies team. I'm going to just highlight their team, and I'm going to uncheck the box next to all 9 of their names. Not playing a single one, although it is a revenge game for your boy, former Brewer great Orlando Arcia, who spent some time in the ATL. But on the Braves side, Nades, we're going to run it back. I haven't given out a ticket yet. It made me laugh when they said my boy's batting second tonight, Alex Verdugo, in that same thing. Click that check mark. Do not play Alex Verdugo under any circumstances. That guy is ass cheeks. Hey, if he gets a home run, though, come back next Friday. We're going to give away a 121 ticket. But, man, I mean, you said it. Marquez is just horrible against both sides. You talked about it earlier, and I loved what you said, is that when you got a stack that's implied for almost 7 runs, not in Coors, like play 7, 8, 9 for a fraction of the ownership. That's the way you get different, but still get a piece of that Braves team. Lump them in there. You got 8 bats to choose from in this Braves team. If you want 0, you can play Verdugo. Don't play any Rockies. Nate's shaking his head because he's locking in Verdugo, but he's not going to do anything. He's like 6 points max.
Yeah, just keep slandering him because he's going to hit a home run. No, listen. I don't like Verdugo either, and he's also going to be the most popular Braves bat, hitting second, 3,500 in the outfield. He's going to be the most popular Braves bat, and I hate that. I love Matt Olson. I love Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris. I mean, if this dude decides how to hit power, I got a home run notification, 2 or 3 days ago from Michael Harris. I almost spit out my drink because that was a shock to see Michael Harris finally figure out how to hit the ball in the air over the fence. So hopefully he can keep that going. I'm with you. I don't like Verdugo. He's also going to be the most popular Brave. Leave him out. Play Acuna, play Riley, play Olson, play all the other guys, Albies, Michael Harris at the back, Sean Murphy if you need a catcher. The back half of this lineup is going to be definitely lower owned. Nick Allen sucks, so I'd probably leave him out too. So naturally, Verdugo and Nick Allen are going to go combined 8 hits, right, for like 5 RBIs and probably 2 home runs, because naturally those are the 2 shitters that I've shit on this show along with Ham. Braves, I mean, best stack on the slate right there with the O's. Rockies pen is trash. Marquez has a 14% K rate. I think Hoop's son has a better strikeout potential than German Marquez does here in the major. So load the wagon on the Braves. It's also 80 degrees in Truist Park. Winds really kind of don't matter here as well. So one of the better temperature games on the slate for sure. On the Rockies side, leverage, sure, if you want to. I mean, Hunter Goodman, Jordan Beck are two good players. McMahon, I mean, it's not for me. The back half, I mean, Keston Herrera and Orlando Arcia, you talk about two Brewers that were dog shit. I mean, they've found their way to Colorado just to continue collecting a paycheck, right? Rockies pretty much would sign anybody with a pulse at this point to play baseball there. So, yeah, the back half of the lineup is cheeks, but Beck, Goodman, Ryan McMahon are all three decent hitters in general.
Just bet the elder over 5.5 Ks, man. Vegas is giving away money. Speaking of alerts, by the way, does that Jose Caballero guy steal 7 bases every night? Every second I look up, it's that dude still in the base. And I haven't played him all season long. When I do play against him, he's hitting home runs and stealing bases. It's just, man, that guy steals bases.
Yeah, Jose Caballero is a straight phenom. I mean, they call him Flash out there. And then Warren Tyler, this is my point right here. I mean, I don't freaking understand why Drake Baldwin is not in this fucking lineup against German Marquez, who sucks against lefties. Baldwin's been a beast. He absolutely smashes. And they got freaking dusty-ass Sean Murphy in the game over Drake Baldwin. Like, I don't fucking get it. That's a little tilting for sure, because I loved Drake Baldwin before I saw this lineup. But yeah, that's really tilting there for sure. No Drake Baldwin in that Braves lineup. Next game on the slate, it's Hamwich's favorite guy, right? Maybe he's going to go in, pour him a nice little glass of bourbon, sit down, put up Adrian Hauser picture on his old laptop there, get the old bottle of Jergens out. I mean, heading into Globe Life Field here to face the Rangers, who decided how to hit, right? It only took a series in Minnesota for them to decide how to hit. They scored, 33 runs or something in 3 games. You needed them pretty much all weekend to make any sort of, or all week, I should say, the last couple of days, to make any sort of money. Now they get a bad bullpen and I think a bad starter. I mean, I think Hauser's pitched well over his head all season long here. I mean, I think the Rangers are pretty interesting. The lefties are the main guys you want. Evan Carter, Corey Seager, Josh Smith, Jonah Heim at the back half. And then you got the righties, White Langford, Semien, who figured out how to hit home runs now. I mean, that dude's been raking. Jake Berger. I like this team a decent amount. The Rangers, they're not going to be super popular like they have been, because you got teams like the Braves, right? You got teams like the Angels. The Angels are going to be much more popular than the Rangers at a similar price point there. I think the Rangers are a pretty good pivot off of some of the more popular teams on the slate against a bad starter, in my opinion, and a bad bullpen behind him. What's your interest here in Globe Life?
Nades, I'm going to tell you a little story. It's story time. I was reading a book before we came on the show. It was called DFS 101, and it was just tips and tricks on how to become a better DFS player. And the first thing it said in that book, it said when Marcus Semien bats cleanup for the team, you play the opposing pitcher. So all I did is I went to that team, saw Adrian Hauser, and you click that button. If Marcus Semien is your cleanup hitter in DFS 101, you lock in the opposing. Marcus Semien? Are you kidding me? Give me some Adrian Hauser to shit on Michael Waka Flocka Flame. The Rangers back home in that ballpark. No, sir. I'm not playing any of those White Sox either. They're trash too. Who's that Holby Minor? Never heard of her, but I'm not playing any White Sox either.
I mean, Semien's been, over the last month, Semien's been one of the better hitters in baseball. 217 ISO, 18% K rate, 10% walk rate. I
didn't say he wasn't. He's batting cleanup. He's not a cleanup hitter.
It doesn't matter what he is. I mean, hot streaks in baseball exist, and the managers aren't no dummies. They realize that, hey, when your hottest hitter on the team, you put him in a spot that gives you potential to produce runs, and that's exactly what they're doing with Semien. Is he freaking Barry Bonds in the cleanup spot because he's got all the power in the world? No. But is he putting good plate appearances together to be able to give the team chances to score runs? And that's what we're looking for in DFS? Yeah, absolutely. So I'll take a fucking $3,400 Marcus Semien hitting cleanup against Adrian Hauser in the White Sox bullpen here.
That's why he's been hot, because he hasn't faced Adrian Hauser.
Adrian Hauser. Okay, yeah. All right. This is a perfect rivalry, a little Friday night action. We're back. Ham's back. It's usually Ham and Nades freaking taking knockout
no fish fries tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Ham got me once out of about 67 and a half times. He beat me, and it was because I forgot who it was. It
was my boy. Speaking of the Rangers, my boy Jack Leiter just carving up those cards.
Jack Leiter. I mean, a blind squirrel finds a nut in the winter once in a while. It doesn't happen twice too often. Give me the Rangers offense here against Adrian Shittyhauser. So I like the Rangers. I prefer the lefties more. No White Sox interest for me. Benintendi's been smashing 2,800 if you do need a value guy. It's going to be a bullpen game for the Rangers. Rangers do have a decent bullpen, if I remember correctly here. Yeah, they're one of the better bullpens, top 10 in terms of ERA. One of the better teams in terms of whip as well. So that takes me pretty much off the White Sox in general. Benintendi would be really the only guy I have interest in just because he's trying to hit his way out of Chicago, which kudos to him. Probably a good idea.
Hey, speaking of which, did you see your boy Aaron Savale was complaining about he wanted to be traded?
Yeah. Shitty ass Savale. Yeah, he bitches.
He traded to the White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Savale's bitching because he gets axed out of the starting lineup from a guy that throws 103 miles an hour, throws 102 mile an hour fucking sinker, and comes out and just mows down the Cardinals who don't strike out, throws a no-hitter, and Savale's bitching that he got axed out of the starting lineup from the number one pitching prospect in the system. Like, come on, buddy. So there you go. Take that. Get your ass in Chicago. Go pitch for the White Sox and enjoy your life there. So yeah, that was pretty funny seeing that come across the screen. That's a kick downstairs where the sun don't shine if I've ever seen one. Next game on the slate, Astros and the Twins. Paddock on the mound. Gordon, I had interest in both of these pitchers to a certain extent here. Don't really love. I mean, Paddock does give up home runs and fly balls. Christian Walker, sure. Altuve, Diaz hitting in your two-hole. G. Rosenthal two-hole there. Yainer Diaz, 3,400. That's probably my favorite play. I don't love this game from a bats perspective. What are you doing here? Two really good bullpens as well behind these two starters.
Yeah, I have some interest in two separate one-offs for the Twins. Batting cleanup, I think, is or batting third, it looks like, is Carlos Correa. I think he's in a great spot. And then if you wanted somebody, Willie Castro. I don't mind Willie Castro down there as well. Willie's not a home run hitter. He can, but normally doesn't. But I like both of those as one-offs. I didn't see how Paddock does against righties because he's going to face what, Nades? 8 righties?
Yeah, he's way better. He's way better against righties than he is lefties. I mean, it's drastic. It's like a 10% higher K rates, lower walks, gives up a little bit of power, less fly balls to righties as well. He's just way better against righties than he is lefties. That's why I had some interest in him because, yeah, I mean, he's going to see all righties besides Jacob Melton, who's got a 60% K rate on the season and 10 at bats against righties. So. Yeah, I'm in on Paddock. I'm out on the Astros outside of Yainer Diaz. The Twins side, I mean, you got Royce Lewis batting 5th. You talk about a shitter batting 5th. I mean, Royce Lewis, what's he hitting? 100 on the season. I mean, the dude's got a 0 ISO on the current season against left-handed pitching. So if you want to play him, you want to play the Twins, have at it. I'm not playing either of these sides for bats for me personally. Next game on the slate, Royals and the Athletic. Severino, Michael Wacha. You said Waka Flocka Flame is trash and Hauser is light years better than him. The only reason I took that bet is because I think Hauser's absolutely atrocious. I don't like Waka a ton, but I think he's going to do better than Adrian Hauser. So personally, not a lot of interest on the Athletic side of things. It would be some of the lefties and Brent Rooker would be my interest there. Royals side, I hate the Royals. Severino gives up fly balls. Bobby Witt, Vinny P. Sure, fine. I like other teams more personally. What are you doing here in this game?
Yeah, were the Royals, were they one of the top teams when you did the dry run? I couldn't remember.
I mean, they've always been picking up ownership all season just due to their salaries, right? I mean, you got 2,500, 2,200, 3K, 3,300, 3,100 for a catcher, 4K for Vinny P. I mean, when your highest price pitch hitters are Garcia at 46 and Bobby Witt at 5.4, the rest of your team's all basically 3K or below. You're naturally just going to get filtered in for mini stacks and two-man stacks, which steams up their ownership a little bit. I think they're okay. They're not going to be as owned as a team like the Angels at similar price points. So they will be lower owned than that. And we know the A's bullpen is just absolutely atrocious behind Severino.
Yeah, I think I have a little bit more interest in the Royals than you do. So we'll be interested to see how it shakes out. The new Jock Jams is fun to watch. He's hitting the ball pretty hard. And then on the A's side, it's my boy Jakob. I'm going to call him Jakob Wilson, batting second. I like him tonight a lot. He is expensive, so it would be just more of a one-off. You can't really stack the A's because all those dudes are 4,300 and higher. So yeah, it's Jakob Wilson for me as a one-off. And then I don't hate these Royals.
Yeah, I think Vinny P is a good one-off candidate. Typically, you want more of the lefties against Sevy. Sure, Bobby Witt and Garcia are always fine to play just due to their stolen base upside alone. But if I'm picking anyone off, it would be the power lefters. Jack Caglione hasn't really put it together yet in the majors, but he's one of the highest touted prospects in all of baseball. The Royals were stroking their meat to him coming up. He hasn't really displayed it yet, but sometimes a lot of these young players take a little bit to get their grips facing major league caliber arms. Next game on the slate, my Brewers facing the Cardinals. Fetty Wap on the hill. This dude's gotten really lucky. I mean, his underlying metrics have been trash all season. You can steal bases on Fetty. Nobody's going to play the Brewers. It's not just a homer take. I have interest in this Brewers team, mainly the lefties in particular. Yelich, Collins, who had a nice, 2 RBI or RBI double or triple, right, off Sonny Gray to start that game. Terang. I like the Brewers here a lot. Nobody's going to play them. They got to Sonny Gray last night. Now they face a worse pitcher here in Fetty. And offense on the slate in general, there's not a lot of good spots. And the good spots, quote unquote, are spots that everybody is going in on, right? Teams like the Braves, teams like the O's, teams like the Angels on the other side of that game in Camden. I have some interest here in the Brewers against Fetty, who's allowed 24 stolen bases over the last 2 seasons. Brewers second in all of baseball in stolen bases. And Churio's been one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball. Hit a bomb last night. We know he's going to swipe once he's on the base paths. Yelich has been incredible last month. Hoskins has a ton of power, hits the ball in the air. He's 4K. I like these Brewers quite a bit here against Fetty Wap. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't hate it, right? Fetty Wap, we've been picking on him for years. So I'm with you, lefties to start and then fill in with the righties. And then we didn't really talk about Freddie Peralta. I mean, I know we talked a little bit about him, and you said this Cardinals team, they just refuse to strike out. I don't have any interest in the Cardinals, but do you?
I will say Freddie does walk the lefties, and he's been struggling against righties over the last 30 days. I don't know what's going on right there, but if you kind of expand the sample size between this year and last year, 27% K rate to both sides of the plate, gets hit harder from the righties, right, in terms of fly balls and power in general. So some of the righties would be the guys I would prefer. The lefties have been solid. Nolan Gorman's actually been hitting the ball pretty well as of late. He's got a decent price point there. I think the Cardinals are fine. Brewers bullpen isn't great. I think there's better pitchers to pick on than Freddie Peralta, who historically has been pretty good. But again, like I said, he hasn't pitched great against the Cardinals. And you can also steal on Freddie. He also is susceptible to stolen bases for sure too. So I would focus on the stolen base guys if I were to go to any Cardinals first.
You're on mute.
Next game on the slate is a good one. Padres in the Dbacks. Reed Nelson on the hill. Stephen Kolek on the hill. You talk about a pitcher that's skated by disaster all season. Stephen Kolek. I mean, the Padres seem to have these guys. Randy Vasquez is another one there. Kolek struggles versus lefties, and he's going to see a lot of good Right, good lefty mashers, right? That smash right-handed pitching. Dbacks, one of the better teams in all of baseball. Top 5 in baseball against right-handed pitching in general. 5 implied run total here at home. I did not check the roof status. Let me check that while I throw it over to you. Any interest here in Padres and Dbacks? I personally have interest in both sides of this game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Warren Tyler, Padres to the moon. It looks like he says Machado bomb. I like Tatis. More of a mini though for me. I'm not going quite as far as Warren. But yeah, give me some Tatis. I like him. And then yeah, I love playing these snakes are fun to roster, Nades, because like Alec Thomas went bomb the other night. Moreno went yard the other night. Well, obviously we know Gurriel can go yard. Suarez. So Kolek has been skating by. I love to hear that. Diamondbacks, they got to be virtually unowned, right? All sub 8% in that desert, late night hammer, pivot off, one of those other chalky teams, and they're very good offense. So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I love the D-back side. The D-back side of this game is going to be lower owned. Padres are popping in projections here. I get it, right? The bullpen behind the Nelson, who's not very good, is trash. D-backs have one of the worst bullpens in baseball. Padres, on the other hand, their bullpen is straight nails. I watched it firsthand. They're 3rd in baseball behind the Mets, behind the Giants there. So if Kolek does skate by disaster again and goes 5 or 6 innings, I mean, you can kiss your D-back stacks goodbye because it's going to be pretty tough. I know Corbin Carroll, Marte can hit it against anybody. It's just not great, right? They have a lot of really good lefty arms in that bullpen as well. Behind Kolek. That is the only downgrade that I do have for the D-backs is that bullpen behind Kolek is straight stones. I mean, they're really freaking good. So I still think the D-backs are one of the better stacks on the slate at their ownership. I like both sides of the game. I prefer the lefties more on the Padres side. Jackson Merrill, Gavin Sheets, I think is a really nice mini stack there. Tatis, sure, obviously he's a great play. Machado has been hitting the baseball. He's been hitting home runs as of late. He's coming around. I would avoid guys like Tyler Wade, Maldonado, who I think are trash. Xander, I think, is horrible too. It's really mini stacks preferred on the Padres side, full stacks preferred on the D-back side. Corbin Carroll, Marte, Perdomo being my 3 favorite bats on that stack in general. Alec Thomas, don't sleep on him. I always love me some Alec Thomas in the back half of that lineup. He made me a lot of cheese the other night at 2% ownership in that when he scored 30 plus DraftKings points. So that was pretty fun. 2 games left to talk about: Guardians and the Mariners. I know this ballpark historically sucks, but in terms of home runs, it is the 7th best park in baseball this season for home runs in general is T-Mobile Park. What are you doing here? Gavin Williams, susceptible to walking a lot of guys, right? Losing command there. And talked about Castillo, right? He struggles against lefties here. You got Rich Homie Kwan, Sheeneman, J-Ram, Manzardo, Santana, Bo Naylor, Nolan Jones, all have power from the left side of the plate to attack the splits of Castillo. That's what's taking me off of Castillo. I don't think I'm going to play the Guardians. I don't think they're the worst plays in the world. The bullpen behind Castillo is not good either. On the Mariners side, Gavin Williams struggles with lefty power. Cal Raleigh, one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Polanco, Tellez. I have some interest in this game, actually, overall, more than I typically would. It's just due to the nature of the slate. I think this is a decent little sneaky mini stack spot here in T-Mobile Park.
12-game slate down to 11 for me, Nades. I'm crossing this one off. I don't like either pitcher, but I respect them enough not to stack against them, so I'm crossing this one off.
All righty. I have a little bit more interest in you, it sounds, in that game. That takes us to the last game of the slate. I see some guys talking about Dane Dunning.
I think he's the LR for the Rangers.
Okay, Dane Dunning. Yeah, I mean, if he's the projected long reliever, I think he's fine. On a 12-game slate, I don't know if I'm going to play a long reliever, but it is the White Sox. I mean, White Sox, you want to attack with left-handed pitching versus right-handed pitching. I
think that's too risky.
Yeah, because, I mean, is he guaranteed to come in?
Well, I don't know if he's guaranteed, but even if he is, I mean, he's going to throw, maybe 5 innings?
Yeah, I mean, 5 innings against the White Sox is always, I mean, there's always upside there.
I mean, 5 innings got you 12 Ks last night or something crazy like that. I don't even see him in the player pool. I wouldn't play him. I think that's too thin, in my opinion. But
yeah, he's not. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's not in the player pool. I wouldn't. I think it's a little risky in general. But yeah, you can't even play him. So that's email DraftKings or tweet at DraftKings support if you want to play and roster Dane Dunning there. But it's going to be more of a bullpen game in general, I think, overall. Last game of the slate, Giants and the Dodgers. Yamamoto, Logan Webb, 2 Cy Young candidates here. Logan Webb, I talked about it earlier. He has historically struggled against this Dodgers team. Dodgers at home in probably one of the best hitting, right behind Camden, I would say, in terms of hitting environments. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Wind blowing out. The second best park behind Camden Yards in all of baseball in terms of home run factors over the course of the season. And these Dodgers have lit up Logan Webb every time they've pretty much faced him. Ohtani, Freeman, Will Smith, Betts. Max Muncy's actually been really good. Conforto's been solid against him. Edman's been good. Pages has been good. I mean, this lineup is just a straight gauntlet. The only thing is, Webb, extreme ground ball guy, and Giants bullpen is the best in baseball behind him. What are you doing here to round up the slate? Probably the lowest you're going to see the Dodgers owned all season.
yeah, I was just thinking the same thing about their ownership, but I would put Michael Conforto in the Alex Verdugo category, and he's batting 8th, so get him out of there. You can't stack the Dodgers. They're just too expensive, right? It's just virtually impossible because you got to play those big boys, in my opinion. But I have a ton of interest in Logan Webb as a GPP type play. That's kind of weird. Like, no one's going to play Webb, but no one's going to play the Dodgers either, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, Logan Webb's been, I mean, just straight elite all season long. I'm just looking at the sample size that we have against the Dodgers here. I'm not a huge BVP guy, but when the sample size is 217 plate appearances, the Dodgers are at home in a plus environment, nobody's going to play them. I think mini stacks, even full 5-man stack on a slate where offense seems to be condensed around a team like the Braves, like the Orioles, like the Angels, who aren't great by any means. I mean, I'll take a chance on some Dodgers at no ownership. I prefer more as mini stacks just due to their salaries, but I mean, this is going to see the lowest you're going to see these guys owned all season long. I'll take a shot here against a guy. Does
anybody in particular from the Dodgers stick out BVP, Ross?
I mean, I haven't really looked at the BVP numbers. I just looked at the baseball savant numbers for Logan Webb against them. I glanced at the BVP numbers a little bit, but I would just look at the fly ball guys because Logan Webb is a ground ball guy. You want guys that have a lot of power and hit the ball in the air. Muncy, Will Smith, Ohtani, Betts, Pages, Edman, this entire lineup has 30% or higher fly ball rates, and ground ball rates are all down there in the 30s as well. So when your entire roster hits the ball in the air and doesn't really hit the ball on the ground, you have upside, especially with the wind blowing out in Dodger Stadium there. That's all 12 games. Pretty not one of the better slates that I've seen over the course of the year so far, but hey, everybody has the same puzzle pieces in front of them to start the slate. We'll see how it shakes out at the end. Ham, throw it over to you. Your 2 favorite pitchers, your favorite top end stack, your favorite sneaky stack if you want to, and then a home run call for the people before we leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Elder and Yamamoto as my 2 favorite pitchers. Favorite stack would be, oh man, I'm going to go with the Mets. I like the Mets as a stack. And then sneaky stack, I'm gonna steal. Hopefully I don't steal yours, but I liked your call on those Diamondbacks in the desert. Hopefully get to that Coley boy early. Yeah, that's my favorite sneaky stack. And then home run call, I'm going to go with my favorite stack of the day. Not Jeff McNeil, but batting in front of him, Peter Alonso. I think he goes yard. Pete Alonso. Love the Mets tonight.
All right, Ham's on the Mets and Peter, not Pete, Peter Alonso there. always love Ham's nicknames that he gives these guys. My favorite pitcher, Bryce Elder. I'm with you there, lockstep. I'm going Crochet at the top. I know it's chalky. I just think those are the two best arms on the slate. Not going to get cute there. My favorite offense on the board is going to be the Atlanta Braves at home. I think Marquez is terrible. Rockies bullpen is trash. It's good hitting environment and a decent park in general. For the Braves, my favorite sneaky stack, I did like the D-backs with you. I'm going to the Brewers. Talked about it a lot in depth. Fetty gives up stolen bases. Brewers will run. Lefties hit him for power. Hoskins will hit the ball in the air. And they got pretty cheap price points in general. I like the Brewers as a sneaky stack there. My home run call of the evening, I'm going – man, this is tough. There's a lot of good guys I could pick here. I'm gonna go to my Brewers. I'm gonna go Rhys Hoskins, 4K first baseman. I think he gets one up and out of there in AmFam Field here tonight. That's gonna do it. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton on the way out. If you're not a member yet, head over to SHIPITNation.com. Highly suggest you sign up for that all-access optimizer plus starter package, best value right now. The time is now $129. Gets you access to SaberSim's full package for all sports. Gets their projections ownership, our SHIPIT Nation projections ownership preloaded for you. All the sports available that SaberSim does offer, and our premium content for all of our sports. NFL is right around the corner. We got best ball content with Marley and Title, two champs coming in to break down the best ball content as we lead up to NFL season. We'll have you covered all NFL season. Got the NBA playoff showdown going on. We got, obviously, the PGA season going on. The PGA team's been crushing it. Head over there, SHIPITNation.com. Join now. Best value, $129 a month. Gets you access to that. For Ham, I'm Nades. Good luck tonight in your contest. Hope to see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. We'll be back on Monday. Peace.